So today I want to broadcast right from Porch on my backyard, and it's that's quite ordinary. It's in Connecticut, and weather here is hot now, and we had flowers. The peonies are just finishing to bloom, and I had few of them in vase of flowers, which I gave it to my wife. So I'm glad today to share with you how I would easily and simply set up something on my backyard so I could paint and not to skip a day, especially when it was today a little hot and humid. So having an hour at the end of the day without trying to pack your car and go somewhere looking for a beautiful view with a running light when it can disappear. So it should not be that complex. If you have ideas and energy, go for it. If you don't, still try to paint an hour, and I think today we'll spend even less than that. I want to show that you can spend time with a lot of value, especially for consistency of educational process, and that's important. I think scale of painting is the same as like in sports, the part, not the inspirational part, but the part of your draftsmanship, of your skills, how you have coordination between your eyes and your hand. It's all depends on the amount of practice, efforts, and thinking process, guidance you put. And if you do that daily as a sports people, if you train daily, you're in better shape. If you do that occasionally, definitely your results will be much kind of, I'm glad if they are at least satisfactory for you. But in case you want in the future to apply for plein air events and to be able to look for motif when you don't feel that it's great day for painting or something else, but you will still find start with something and then come up with better idea. So let's start. I will show you my setup first, and we'll do some like painting for maybe 40 minutes. You've seen this setup before. I just did some sort of extension here from EZL. I thought if I kind of like kind of bend this a little better, so it actually give me some sort of extension. I'm still working on improvement of my easel, and as you see, I got the new tripod for $100 from Best Buy. My sandpack is 63 inches high, and I checked it's pretty sturdy. Also, I have a pre-toned canvas, and on my palette I have, as usually, titanium white. Also, this is king blue. It looks a little darker. In reality, it's cobalt blue pre-mixed with I think zinc oxide or titanium white, and also as usually ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, a cool light green from Russia. This is olive green, raw sienna, yellow light ochre, cadmium yellow lemon, cadmium lemon or cadmium yellow, I think the medium or deep, but of course cadmium orange, cadmium red light, and alizarin crimson. So what we're going to paint today, I was again talking about these flowers. I've seen the smaller flowers, and I had these beautiful blue vase. I was even thinking to buy from Old Holland Delft blue they have, or Vasari blues, and also for that, of course, some like yellow flowers would be great, but I don't have any yellow flowers in our garden, so I decided to use lemon. And also I wished for these pinkish flowers to get something in the background on the cooler side, so I just used whatever I have here, some curtain and some sheets, and also I got some like even throw. I was not really looking for these three colors, but I wish to have something. You see this pink and this kind of gray blue have a good contrast. I didn't want to paint in direct light as well, because light conditions, especially at the end of the day, change quickly. So let me just do it as I see. Also, I got here one extra rose to give a little variety of colors. So maybe it's too much. At the same time, it should go well, at least for practice. Again, practice, practice, practice. And today's ordinary day. You can grab something on from your kitchen, from your I don't know, yard, maybe some vase, some pottery, and create something simple. So like different size, different colors, shape and whatever variation would work well. You've seen this setup before. I just did some sort of extension here from EZL. I thought if I kind of bend this a little better, so it actually give me some sort of extension. I'm still working on improvement of my easel, and as you see, I got the new tripod for $100 from Best Buy. My sandpack is 63 inches high, and I checked, it's pretty sturdy. Also, I have a pre-toned canvas, and on my palette I have, as usually, titanium white. Also, this is king blue. It looks a little darker. In reality, it's cobalt blue pre-mixed with I think zinc oxide or titanium white, and also, as usually, ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, cerulean blue, a cool light green from Russia. This is olive green, raw sienna, yellow light ochre, cadmium yellow lemon, or cadmium yellow, I think the medium or deep, but of course cadmium orange, cadmium red light, and alizarin crimson. So what we're going to paint today, I was again talking about these flowers. I've seen the smaller flowers, and I had these beautiful blue vase. I was even thinking to buy from Old Holland Delft blue they have, or Vasari blues, and also for that, of course, some like yellow flowers would be great, but I don't have any yellow flowers in our garden, so I decided to use lemon. And also I wished for these pinkish flowers to get something in the background on the cooler side, so I just used whatever I have here, some curtain and some sheets, and also I got some like even throw. I was not really looking for these three colors, but I wish to have something. You see this pink and this kind of gray blue have a good contrast. I didn't want to paint in direct light as well, because light conditions, especially at the end of the day, change quickly. So let me just do it as I see. Also, I got here one extra rose to give a little variety of colors. So maybe it's too much. At the same time, it should go well, at least for practice. Again, practice, practice, practice. And today is ordinary day. You can grab something on from your kitchen, from your I don't know, yard, maybe some vase, some pottery, and create something simple. So like different size, different colors, shape and whatever variation would work well. So I'm going to do a recording and talking at the same time, so I will not be able to see who's exactly joining us live today, but I know that will be definitely the same loyal crowd, followers who come on my YouTube channel every week, and those who are coming first time or come rarely. I'm very happy to see you all here. So I will be actively using during broadcasting my live chatting. So if you ask any questions, I will not be able to vocalize it during the painting process, but I definitely will be able to do commenting in text version. So as a medium, as I usually use the mix of Gamsol and Gamblin, and of course I told you about my variety of colors. And what I'm going to do, I did not do any sketch today. I would think, if maybe that will be helpful. Let me maybe start with something. Do not know will be the best or not the best choice of colors in this case, but let's start with the blue ones. You know what? Yeah, let's start with those one. It's generally a triangle. You see here this lemon vase and these flowers with little kind of like one on the side. So most important here to place a vase correctly, and also to give some space in the foreground, especially for the lemon. In this case, since it doesn't seem to be very symmetrically, at least observed, because of flower. So, and flower here, one of the centrally located, is very important. And then another flower here. I really like that distance and gap which we have here. Then little rose, another flower, like a group of them. And also, maybe I don't have to, but I think I will follow that curtain, that crease line. It's really all for practice. And those leaves here, leaf here, here. I'm glad I'll be able to work in pasto in this case. I want to work a lot contaminated area where my lemon will be, and there is no any casted shadows, but definitely there is a little kind of like a shadow which is warm right behind the vase. Of course, if you want, if we see any dynamics, we can do that extra line, but really that will be too much a peripheral thing. Of course, I'm not going to start with any like heavy impasto with titanium whites. No. What I'm going to do is I think I'll work in blue. Maybe I'll work now with the green, and I will try to go around these flowers. Of course, I want right in the beginning to cover as much as possible with my paints. At the same time, I don't want to do that so recklessly, so I'll need to do a lot of then corrections. We're doing this again, sort of exercising to not to try to finish and create beautiful painting, even though for Father's Day I'm preparing pretty good ones available for purchase. If you want to buy anything, maybe for yourself, it just happened to be that Father's Day is coming soon. If you want to buy it for yourself, that's great. That could be a good educational content as well. I'm glad this green is dark. A little redefining shapes of these flowers, leaves. If any cooler reflexes happen. I think this is a little too crazy. This blue green, I like it, but it seems to be a little too much of intensity in this paint. Okay, I think a relatively easy will be to paint this vase now. These have here cobalt blue and ultramarine blue, and of course there will be a number of reflexes here, but overall take it darker, and then the base is like more on purple side. And of course ultramarine is also on red shade compared to cobalt blue. I like that the base of this vase is quite narrow. I still will think this is a little too much on the side. since it's relatively simple, even though I'm trying to paint it fast, I don't want to do any mistakes, which each mistake, I mean, those which are avoidable, it will take time in case I want to do a correction. We don't have to do corrections when we do this kind of practice, but when the painting is better, it's always pleasant, right? So I think for color variety, this yellow is so different. Definitely want to show it, that it's here, giving me some sort of camera tone for yellow colors. And then now let's work with pinks. I think we'll grab another brush, and when I do say these peonies, what I will do, I will take muted pink, we'll desaturate to some grade, maybe with using ochre, then a little of white, and then I will work on some sort of inner parts of it. I think I got here a little bit of blue, which I don't want here. Let's wipe it off. Some red, some purple. Of course, since painting from direct observation has sense when I paint what I see, the way as I see it, not just using it to start painting. No, I'm not saying that painting using whatever you see just to start and then painting makes you to paint as it goes, like Picasso was saying. But in realistic approach school, you get from a reality as much as possible, because you're standing there, you have that moment, emotions, put them on canvas. Of course, the value of that area of those petals is different, and you could see that this area is warm. I think since I have underpaint is like warm, I'll leave those like inner sides of petals visible. So it's kind of like more on the cream side. I think I will do some I'll prepare some mixes. This is too intense. Well, this is what will help me to create that cream. Let's get more. One of the issues here also that I compare my warmth of these like pinks to surrounding color here, which is yellow. In reality, it's gray, bluish gray. So let me mix. I don't have my palette knife, because I thought, when I go and paint these little ones, I should not maybe worry about palette knife. So let me mix muted paint. It's not our dog barking, it's neighbor's dog. And how this will work. Yeah, this palette doesn't have enough space to work well on it. Even though it's kind of bluish gray, but I work with variety. I work even like with a little bit of purple, because there are a number of reflexes come from here and there. And oh, I think value of color which I took now is pretty close to what I want. when I squint, I see it's actually good pick. I hope I won't need to do any corrections. Even though the palette is little, still good to have enough. You know, when you do gray color, it's like all colors. So, oh, I'm sorry. It's just, you should not mix them all on palette to have them unified. No, that would be a mistake. Feels that it's a little darker on this side. Yeah. So with the shadow, with the color of shadow on this, I think it's, for me, it looks even greenish. Especially, yeah, because of greenish gray sheet on the right. And I think I need to go a little darker. Even color of green sheet, once I place it, will look differently. I think it's warmer on this part and cooler on side which turn towards the sky. And I see here some pink reflexes. Yes, from flowers and maybe from that throw, which on the left side was blocking light from coming through the fence. So I have here a little bit of, oh, now this, yeah, it looks like more like a purple. Even though we don't have any strong shadows, shadows exist here. I'm glad that the color variety is pretty good. So my practice really has sense when I don't have a pretty image, but when I have when I see so how close my picked colors on canvas to those colors which I see behind my canvas. That complexity very unlikely could be done from photograph. Some reflexes from a yellow. Lemon. Of course, later I can work with a finer brush to create deeper, shadow right under the lemon. Yeah, it looks like we're a little bit lost shape of the vase, which is not the problem. I think that when I have a moment, I will rather work on those reflexes, and maybe we'll create not texture, cool texture, but real texture of the glass if I have enough time for that. So now let's work on that background blue. Working with pinkish, with greenish and bluish grays at the same time. Of course, since it's a glass thing, try to create, if possible, sharp edges. Because once you went, twice you went, then before it's dry again, it will be almost impossible to create those sharp edges. Well, I have this red, which I haven't been working on yet. Yes, I think without that red, it will be very hard to find a camera tone for pinks. And that red on my painting and on your screens could be different. Some cooler reds, which alizarin will help me to find, especially if alizarin mixed with some white, even without any cobalt, it turns to be cooler. And same thing with the cobalt red, that pink which you get with mixing. With cadmium, I mean with white. Is different. So now I have all my bigger shapes done, and already they have colors and so on. So I think since background is simple enough, and I already found variety of colors over there, unless I want to work on that crease kind of shape, I better work on flowers. I think that's most attractive. Lemon here just for contrast, and maybe like a little bit more on buzz. I think that's my focal point. And again, imagine you have 40 minutes, an hour, maybe you spend 10 minutes to finding out what you want to paint, and you found, then like another 5-10 minutes to set up. You got your palette out of refrigerator, found your favorite, or my favorite size of 5x7 canvas, toned appropriately, and start painting. That's it. So I will work on flowers, and I think now I need more precise the brush strokes. So I'll be working now more with kind of like a smaller size. Size of brush plus. Maybe I can keep it closer to my the tip of my brush. try not to overmix your paint on your palette. You need a variety of colors there. If we go over and over the same spot again and again, then we don't have it. I think this part of flower is different from another. Even like a little bit of yellow somewhere to add luminosity, like more of a shining effect, could be helpful. Sometimes like you want to do that on edges later on. Those peonies, they're definitely a lighter. Somewhere it has kind of like cooler side. Maybe it's too much. The good thing, of course, we all like to exercise our brains, but when you learn from what you see, your brain work will be maybe to try to remember how mixing of colors help you to find a right tone, right value. That's it. Yeah, I think that's the maximum of white I can get. So I think I will try to go a little darker with the surrounding with that gray blue. Yeah, this looks like to be on a grayish side. A little bit of So I think I went over most of my peonies. Maybe some of them have more of a pink, some of them have less. So again, with something which is close to white, I will go again somewhere on the warmer side. I think this is good enough. Of course, that flower which is turned towards me is the most difficult one, because I see so many petals down there. I'm sorry for the noise. Someone's like doing some yard work. No, it's Connecticut. It's very hard to go somewhere where there is no noise. Even when I go to wilderness, I always can hear sound of the road. So there is no absolute wilderness in Connecticut. That's not Wyoming, where I've been happy to be last year and stayed in Bighorn. Very nice people who had us. And I thank organizer of our tour, Claudia Post, who found people who've been able to contact and make this travel possible. Claudia, if you're listening to this video, I just want to say hi to you and thank you again for this amazing travel which you organized. The time gets close to what I was planning to broadcast. Of course, 7 p.m. that's our time when we do it live. If you're watching it later, you may just learn about that right now. So now I have enough paint down there. So what I'm trying to do here is get like enough good shape. So I think a lemon will be as it is. So I'm not going to work a lot on lemon, but flowers, something really which moved me. Since I have more limited time than you have, maybe you'll find time to work more on it. But I'll need to go online, I'll need to go broadcast this video for you. So again, getting back to that darker colors. Yeah, maybe this value may work kind of a bit better. Again, still need to go with variety of colors if possible. And kind of now generalizing if any colors could be, or values or brush strokes or shapes could be done differently to kind of highlight better what we're painting. Now we have enough freedom because we can look at this, any part of our painting, with a lot of other spots to compare to. So I have a few minutes left, and what I will do, I will try to work a little more on this vase. Oh, you know what, maybe I have a little more time for a lemon as well. Looks like it has some green sides on the bottom, maybe even like this. Doesn't have to be perfect again. If I squint, I may see some highlight over there. If I take a smaller, like thinner line, maybe I will create, I don't want it to become a distractor, create those shadows. If it will pull too much attention, don't think that will be the right thing to do. Maybe it's not the right place for that crease to be. I was not working on something like spending a lot of time finding correct position. I see here a little bit of reflection effect. I hope you see a little bit of Russian school of approach in my painting. It should be there. When I look at my own videos, I see that, and maybe you do so. I hope you're a fan of Russian art. Russian art. When I need to do color which is darker than my ultramarine blue, of course I'll add there some transparent paints like alizarin or olive green. So we'll do it will be close to black, and if I need it still to be on blue side, I'll add. So now need to squint to see what these reflections on surface of these vases are, because they are not so actually easy to know. Kind of on grayish side maybe. And really on the base, at the base, looks like I have here some and this reflection of a lemon here, almost invisible. Wish I had some sort of highlight. I have a little highlight type of reflection from sky. think this should be good enough. Of course, it's quick enough, but I really enjoyed working on it. And setup was again simple, but you need to have some vase like this of a deep, maybe blue color. And of course, I was working recently on my simple, quick setup I could share with you, which a tripod did cost me $100, but everything else, well, of course, some work and I don't know, maybe like 20 bucks for this box and something else, which I could use for augmenting. So I'm glad that you worked with me, and that was simple but enjoyable lesson. And for all who joined me, to all of you, I want to say hi, and I want to say thank you for being here. Even if you watch it as a recorded, of course, not everyone can do that Thursday night. Some plans could happen, and that's not weekend. Anyways, if you never subscribe to my channel, please do so. And also, I'm happier to deliver my message and my invitation through ConvertKit. I mean, through the emails which I send to you directly. So if you never subscribe to get these emails and just watch it on YouTube, I would still encourage you to go to the link and subscribe on my website, zufar.com, and to find some helpful lessons on confidentartist.com. And I think that's it for today. Thank you for being with me. Bye-bye.